Getting into it.
Getting into it.
Getting into it.
We getting into it.
Getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
We getting into it. Getting into it.
Getting into it.
Getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
I'm getting into it.
We getting into it.
We getting into it.
You probably need to switch that intro because this Sunday, we got the Sunday spotlight. We got a special guest, and this is Mixsquadtv. Got my co-owner here, audio manipulator in the middle, and then to the right of him, we got DJ Just 100. Turn that bitch up. That's his tag. If you don't know, if you ever hear that tag, you know. Like y'all said, that's a tag I'll never forget now.
Me
Straight up. Also, for those out there, you know, Cue the Music is here in behind the scenes as well as she is a part of the squad. But we do got a special guest in the Sunday spotlight with DJ Just 100. Before I get to 100, you got anything for the people, audio manipulator?
Let's get it, man. All them DJs across the world, keep your ears open. Listen to what we have for you. Very important. You know what I'm saying? We're going to have a lot of important messages and a lot of important gems. So stick tuned, stay close.
Straight up. And so we're going to get right into it with our spotlight 100, man. You know, we've kind of known each other for a few years now. And I've always gave my kudos and credit to where credit is due, because you are on one of the top 5 of engineers that I have actually learned and built my skill set from, right? And now we're at with Mix Squad and we teaching and stuff. So definitely tap in this interview, as audio manipulator was saying, because this is someone who I consider not just a peer, but a mentor. So I'm gonna let him introduce himself and kind of give a little introduction of what he does and everything like that.
Yeah. So hello everyone. Thank you again for giving me this opportunity. My name is Jason. I go by DJ Just 100. Originally from Detroit, Michigan. Live in Houston, Texas right now. As far as what I do, I'm a producer. Obviously, I'm a DJ and an audio engineer. Audio engineer is actually what I got my bachelor's degree in back when I was living in Detroit at Wayne State University. So that was like my intro to really like music, you know, and really like the engineering side. Was blessed to be able to learn like just the basics of Pro Tools there. Just like the basics of just, I don't know, like audio engineering. Like it was a great program. Thankful for it. After graduating, though, sometimes life be life, and so I had to make a little quick pivot to some other things. And so that kind of, you know, had my focus for some years, and then finally decided to like get back into doing music. And so that was, you know, what made me get into. The first thing was like I want to DJ. So that was the first thing that kind of got me back into it. And then from DJing, I was like, you know what, I want to produce. You know, something like I always like sort of want to do, but just never like actually did it. You know, because as long as I feel like it's like it stays up here, you know, it's gonna be hard to actually, I don't see growth.
No, that's crazy, because me in general, man, like, you know, my journey kind of starting about 4 years ago into doing music at all. That's all for almost 4 decades, right? It had been up here. That's it. And that's like a prison for like some of y'all out there. He bring up a really good point about if you gifted with just having that itch for music, and you know you working at Walmart or you could be a lawyer, right? But you're not able to tap into that creativeness that you really want to tap into. It'll just be stuck in your head and it'll drive you crazy. You know what I mean? So that you got to find a way, if this is a passion for you, to get into it, which is a best time now than ever, considering the technology we have, considering the tools that we have. You could be, you know, saying it was very hard back maybe 30, 40 years ago to really just do it just for the love of it. And now it's really easy.
No, for real, man. I mean, even because I'm gonna date myself a little bit. I graduated in 2011, So when I was like coming through, like matter of fact, it might have been like my first year in the engineering program is when Pro Tools allows you to start using other interfaces.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah,
Because
yeah.
before, like you needed like an inbox or you
Man.
needed like one of them a big like HD like things. So that was like a big deal.
Right.
Yeah, it
Um,
was.
so that was yeah, man. So now more than ever, you can get you a nice interface for like under $200. And
True.
so isn't like any type of like it's I don't know. I guess the bar to enter in is like from a price standpoint, it's like it's come down significantly from what it
Mm.
was, just like 15, 20 years ago.
Which is
Uh,
crazy in itself because everything is on the up. Like everything from
Mm.
eggs to milk to corn to grain. Like it don't matter. Everything on the rise except for like the equipment that used to be an arm and a leg in the music. Like granted, there is still plenty of pricey equipment, but
for
just
sure.
to be, like for instance, like it's kind of the McDonald's to the gourmet meal kind of comparison, right? But there wasn't a McDonald's for the music stuff back then.
No, for sure.
You know what
For
I mean? You
sure.
had to get the gourmet. You know what I mean? Like there was no, going to my phone and doing a voice memo, sending that to an engineer who's gonna do some doctoring up and some vocal clarity, plug in removers, and now I got fresh stems that sound clean, that actually can be mixed into the mix like a pristine sounding, vocal.
No, for real, man. One of the songs I was saying that we're gonna play later
Yeah.
reminds me just of that, man, because like
Mm.
homie had a it was a song, it was like homie's main song, he had a feature. The feature came from a guy who is incarcerated.
Mm.
And
Mm.
so, he did it like off the phone. And so, I mean, like, not the best audio quality. But
Right, right, right.
with the modern technology and tools, I was able to like clean it up and like most people they wouldn't be able to tell that like, oh, this was recorded from like behind bars. And so
Mm.
Real talk.
yeah, man, it's like there's a lot of good stuff with the technology right now for sure.
No, for real. I always tell this story about a guy from Instagram. I'm trying to come up. I'm doing free mixes. I just want to get my hands on stuff. And he was in Bali or somewhere. Like there was a whole train passing. He beatboxing on like a bucket, and he wanted to use that as the drums. So I had to
Wow.
extract that out and use that as drums. And then his vocal had like, a train passing and wind gushing. And the technology obviously would never get it to sound like he stepped into a studio with the perfect microphone and
Mm.
no, quiet and all of that stuff. But it was still, uh, I was able to do a lot. Right. I was able to do a
Mhm.
lot to where he was like, yo, this is perfect. And a lot of times that's all we need. At least for me to feel like sometimes obviously we want to reach to certain statuses, but if I can get somebody who just genuinely wants to make music and I can get the best sound for them,
I'll work with
that
them.
could just be a birthday gift. That could be just a poem or something that they wanted to make for their significant other just to give to that person, where it
Mm.
doesn't have any worldly value, but it has significant value for whoever it was for. And
Yeah.
that's what, what I'm saying. Like that actually makes me feel some kind of way, like in a good way. So
No, I get that, man. We're definitely blessed to be in the service industry. At least I still, how I see it. Like, because I guess I'll get back to the story real quick.
yeah.
So from DJing to production, from production, my was like this ain't sounding right. So I probably need to, go ahead and like get, back into mixing. And so that led into me getting Pro 2 certification and was then opened up doors for me to, work at a recording studio. Was able to invest to my own studio, which is great just because at least here at home I like only record because it's at the crib like people that I trust knowing like this is where I stay. So it's allowed me to develop like real relationships like with these artists. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and which is great because I really do feel like I'm offering them like something than just like me hitting record and Pro Tools.
Mm.
But I'm actually kind of helping them in and everywhere I can because if um, the song is more successful, even during the recording process, if they're just in like a good mood and a good spirit, like it's gonna like all that translates into getting like really good takes and stuff. So from the time that they walk in till I give them like the finished product, um, yeah, just knowing that like it's all for for the client,
Yeah.
and so and it's great just because um, I'm probably say the feedback that I get the most from people that like I record with is that they like, oh, you can tell you actually care about this. You
Right.
know,
It's a big
this is
deal.
more than just you just punching the clock, type of deal. But it's because I don't know, man. I feel like I've loved music my whole life, and I'm just
Yeah.
thankful that like I've gotten to a point where I'm talented enough to like earn income
Mm.
off music. Like
I
that's
do
a
have a
blessing.
question for you about the recording process, right?
Mhm.
Are you the engineer that coaches artists when you hear something, or are you kind of more so like let them do what they do?
Yeah, it depends upon the artist. So at the recording studio I work at, there's some artists who they actually want your opinion. They may do a verse and say like, "Look, what do you think about that?"
Mm-hmm.
Let them know. There's some people who you I don't know. You just kind of like gotta
Fill it
like
out.
feel the vibe. There's some people who like they really don't necessarily care. What is nice about the studio that I do work at is that there are like a lot of newer artists, and so because they are kind of new to rapping, they do want like feedback of like, oh, is this like how does this sound?
Right.
That's what I like. I love kind of helping them with that. Which for some of them, all they need to do is hey, this is the beat that you want to rap on when you get here. Like just spend like 15, 20 minutes just writing before you get here. Like that's gonna make this, have a lot easier because um, when you're in the booth, isn't time to be practicing.
Right.
Mm-mm.
Right.
And if I'm coming up with this, off the top of, like dome, like that's not gonna be like the best like use of your time. And when you're recording, we should be considering like, is this the best take possible, or potentially could you give it another go? And I'm gonna playlist this one, so we can kind of
Yeah.
A and B it. But like for this next one, like try to give it the gusto out, you know.
Especially spending that
Um,
bread.
No, for real.
and so and some are more receptive than others. Typically, the ones who come in with stuff written um, end up, I would say, with better like songs because they were able to focus more on their performance and not so much so like, damn, what's the next thing I
Right.
want to say?
That's important though, and we're gonna definitely transition into some of his work. Take a look at some things that he sent for everyone to view. But that's a very important part as far as like a performance. We have to artists, out there who are interested in doing music, like consider going to the studio the same way you do when you about to go on stage. Like this is about to be a performance, but just like they're like for audio to visual, right? Like when you get visual, when you make a video, you got to consider both what you see and what you hear. But when you're performing in the booth, the only thing that people can get from this is what you put out audibly. So like you have to be as captivating as you possibly can be because they can't see you. They can only hear this. So like you got to be able to make them see you through your
Paint
words.
that picture. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And so that's what I, want to put out there to the artist that's aspiring is oftentimes I'll come across a I don't believe you song. Like I don't believe you. I just don't. Like whatever you saying, I don't believe it, bro. Like it just like to some level there is some performance that goes along with the actual recording process. We was gonna transition into which is Geechee Gotti Greatness, the official music video. You want to share a little bit about this before we play this?
Yeah, man. So, for the people in the audience who are familiar with battle rap, I'm blessed to DJ for a rapper named Geechee Gotti, and also was able to produce a song for him off his last album that came out. I think it was like around August of last year. And so yeah, man, I sort of made it with him in mind. I feel like that's when honestly I do my best production is when I know, hey, I want to do a song for this person, and this is what I feel like is going to like sound like the best, for it. And so originally the song went to somebody who wanted Gotti as a feature. But apparently the story goes, as soon as Gotti heard the beat, it was like, no, I'm taking this. So it then had to be like, like restructured and shit. But like, yeah, man, that's it, man. That's the story.
Bet. Let's check it out. Greatness.
Yeah. All I see is great.
DJ Just 100. Turn this bitch up.
All I see is greatness. Blocking out my demons. I don't need the hatred. Cocaine while they see feel like Jesus made it. We amazing. Picked up yo hoe, look like she needed saving. All these different whips look like we were slaving. All I see is greatness. Blocking out all rats, I ain't trying to read a statement. My partner got life on the match, probably won't see the pavement. See me on this TV, told his Sally we done made it. Remember we was faded. Masked up on a mission, like we was Jason. All I see is greatness. You can do anything, all you need is patience. She sucked the dick and swallowed, oh she was gracious. Keep the lanes in my rear view, all I see is greatness. Yeah.
I be juggling, you know what I'm saying? I juggle a lot, I play a lot of positions, you know what I mean? So my mentality when I do start to be like, damn, this is a lot, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, that's what it's supposed to feel like. If you are going toward what the vision look like, and that's like greatness, that's, on multiple levels. That's the vision that I'm working toward. So I'm like, I just think about that. Like, this shit ain't supposed to feel, comfortable. It's supposed to be uncomfortable. It's supposed to stretch you. It's supposed to be a burden to a degree. And you gotta wrap your mind around that and accept it and embrace it. And you catch some wisdom off of that. You know what I mean?
Dope. That was dope, bro. I saw your little cameo in the end, you know what I'm saying? I see you with your glasses. I forgot what they was called, but
oh man, that was
stay with them glasses.
So, yeah. From Detroit.
Yeah.
I'm wearing my glasses like until when I have contact lenses where
right.
I need some type of like corrective lens to function.
I feel you. I mean, I cheated. I just got LASIK done, but yes, all my life for the most part, I needed corrective lenses. But that song, man, did you just tell us all of just what role you had with the whole production of everything?
Yeah, man. So the production, like that's all me. Like I said, I think for that one, it's probably some like splice for the drums, just kind of sample one hits. Did all the production on like in the MPC dog, on an MPC one. Trying to see what else I used. Also for the chords, that was just like, so for the MPC, there's a couple websites where like they sell like these like chord progression packs, where all this is just like, and it makes more sense if you kind of know how like MPC is like laid out. But for each the 16 pads, there's like a chord mode where you can like set different chords for like each kind of pad. And so there's somebody who like made this like pack where it's just random kind of chords. You still have to like know enough about like music and like I don't know, like the flow of like chord progressions.
Right. That
You
I'm
know,
still getting, you don't know yet, but I had actually graduated into the production. I got a few beats
oh,
that's out
I
there
can't wait to
now.
hear it, man. I know it's
Kiana, like I've been the beat for the intro, that's the Kiana beat. Like we, you know what I'm saying? We've been getting our production game up, but I know
no, it's fire.
like a lot of what you're saying as far as the chord progression, like I'm still trying to fully understand music theory to some degree. I know how to make it sound like I want it to sound, but I don't necessarily know like what chords is and what keys. I'm still learning that part.
No, man, definitely. Like that makes sense. Like only reason why I know because like my part of like the school of music wasn't just the engineering stuff. Like I had to take like the theory, the ear training, the
Yeah.
piano skills, music history, like all that.
Yep.
And so and it's just and I'm not even like honestly as sharp as I was like in college just because how long it's been, but have retained enough where I can sort of like look at if I'm given 16 chords, I can figure out like okay, this is what I want to do with it, you know.
Right. Is there
So
somewhere where I could find if I was looking for a DJ Just 100 produced beat? Is there somewhere I can find it?
So like I said, a lot of my stuff is like a la carte. And so they would probably just need to just kind of DM me. Like it's
DM
not
you.
like a Beach Stars.
We might we
Or
might have to talk offline, brother.
no, for sure, man.
For sure.
I still like the one that like I feel like I'm okay calling it our song, you know.
Yeah.
There was that one beat that like you
Oh, Blue Magic.
yeah.
Yeah, we still. I ain't never finish it.
Okay, well I mean, there's always
I mean,
tomorrow.
like I ain't never finished mixing it, but like it's
Yeah,
done. Like it's some small
yeah,
things I need to do to it. But thank you for
yeah,
reminding me because it's just time passes and stuff move on. But like,
man.
oh,
But
Blue Magic, yeah, I remember that joint. Now,
yeah, so yeah, so a lot of us is sort of like on the card because I want to be able to know like what the artist is like looking for or where I feel like I can maybe kind of challenge them to like kind of to go.
yeah,
Because as I guess a quick like I don't know one of my pet peeves right now with the industry is there's so many like tight beats,
yeah.
where I feel like for like the
I
the
even got
real
a tight
artists,
beat. All
you
the
know.
all the beats I made, I put as cash ahead type beat.
Which I get for like marketing purposes, but like say for instance, like it would be hard to do like that. Someone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I feel like it would be difficult for someone to say, "What's a Jay-Z type beat?"
Right. But they'll still do it for marketing purposes, though.
Yeah, but it's
Like
just
just
like,
so
but
they
you,
can
if
be in
you
the
really think about
algorithm.
it, and probably for that, but it's like if you really sit down and think about it, like I would say that like it would be hard to like put him in
Category.
like a box of
You
just
would have
like
to
this
put
is
him
all
in a
his songs.
category based off of the era that we talking about, Jay-Z.
Exactly,
Like,
exactly. You know,
is this Blueprint era? Is this what's the one he made with Kanye? You know what I mean? Is this
oh, like the how was it something like King? Was it Watch the Throne? Watch the
Watch
Throne.
the Throne? Like, is it
Yeah,
that era? Because like now you
yeah,
start to tap into different sounds. Is it the Black album or the Gray album? You know what I mean? Like,
yeah. So yeah, or even like some of like producers, at least some of my favorite ones right now, where it's hard to say like, oh, this is what their type of beats,
oh,
sound like. And it's funny because like one of my favorite producers right now is the Alchemist, and so like that's his Twitter like handle is
that's
like
that's
Alchemist
that's
type beat.
crazy. Another close friend of the squad, he actually that's his favorite.
Yeah,
And he had been putting me on a lot more because I remember some stuff from back in the day, like from when I'm dating myself. I'm talking about when I graduated in like 04, 05,
yeah.
like he had some stuff with like Mobb Deep and some other cats that was like
Yeah,
codeine. And
no,
so
for real. Like the stuff with Mobb Deep is like it's fire, man. And it's
right.
I just like I love a good story too, and
Mm,
I just feel like his journey in the industry is like unique because he started off rapping. A lot of
right.
people like don't know that, and he was in like this duo group, and the guy who he was in a group with, he's a lot of people know him from like the Ocean's movies,
Okay.
um, but like he like was rapping for like a hot little second and like just pivoted into acting, and then I think like Alchemist like goes off to like NYU for college and like does the production, DJing stuff, and kind of like the rest is history.
Mm,
Um, but he definitely is one who's like he's been around, like he's like people know if you can get him on a song, like there's a good chance like it's gonna be fire, you
right.
know, unless the MC just like it's just ass, you know. Um, but yeah, man. So
So man, no, that's dope. Just the song, the production of it was fire.
yeah,
And then obviously it's that mesh, right? It's the fact that not just that it was a fire produced track, but then he get on there and just kind of do what he does that really just it brings it together. You know what I mean? And
yeah,
that's
yeah,
why
yeah.
I could really say that that is super important for artists to lock in with somebody that that know your vibe. Like he said, he kind of already had him in mind, and so when he got it, he loved it because it was he felt the energy from it. Like, man, this me right here. Matter of fact, I ain't featuring nothing. It's mine, right? And so when you can find that vibe and that chemistry between artist and producer, you can really start to make magic. Because I can even tell, like when he got into that talking, I do some tracks where I do some talking, whether it's for the hook or whatever, where I'm just sharing my thoughts, and that fit perfectly in that particular track. You know what I mean? It was
No,
like I
for
did
real,
my
yeah,
little
yeah.
rap, and now I'm about to just kind of speak. I'm about to really let people know how I feel and what I think and what I mean when I say I see greatness, right? I say I see us doing these things every day. We grinding, we pushing, you know what I mean? And so it was an appropriate moment to just like, man, let me really just tell y'all how I feel when I say all I see is greatness. So
Mhm.
that was magic, brother.
No, for real. And that the end part, that's Nipsey Hussle. Like that's like an interview that Nip did. That's one thing that like
Got you.
yeah, like I really like love about how like God he is with like recording in the studio. He really knows like what fits perfectly where.
Into stuff, right?
You know, so after he did the verse, like, you know, him thinking of, hey, there's this Nip, you know, interview that would fit perfectly with this. And sure enough, it did, you know. And I've seen
Definitely
him do
did.
it before with another, like, I'm pretty sure it's unreleased right now, but it's amazing. Like, we were recording at a studio in like Oklahoma, like the Oklahoma City area. This is like in December. And it's a pretty, like, I don't know, like I would not positive, but it's like a song that's gonna like encourage, right?
Right.
You know, and automatically like he thought of like a clip from a TV show that like fit perfectly,
Mm.
you know, like into it. So yeah, he definitely is probably one
I
of my
like that.
favorite artists to be in the studio with.
I like that. I actually not as like on the spot. Like if we in the studio, probably not, but like just kind of surfing the net, thinking of what I could put in here. I do the same thing in a lot of the music that I do, where I would use, audio clips that just so happen to express a point that I'm trying to express. But
Mhm.
it's just a clever way of like for instance, I use it sometimes when there is a complex beat that it's hard to express what this complex beat is because I know what it sounds like, but it has this moment where there's nothing really I could say or rap, but it's rather long. It's about 30 seconds, so
Mhm.
it's like a hook, and it's like
Mhm.
I literally just put audio. And this particular song just had a foot chase of somebody running from the police, but it just fit it fit the whole vibe of what was going on. And so that's just another way, for us artists, we like to get these gems away to the audience who out here being, indie artists. And also that fits for producers as well. It's just finding little moments for, splices of audio is, sometimes build your library up, comb the internet, whether it's, getting it from a platform, whether that's paying for it from, platforms that, you can pay for stock, audio, whatever it is, build it up, store it up, add it to a folder so you can have stuff at the split second. So you don't have to be like me and go search for everything like right then and there. You can already have a library. So that's key as well that you kind of brought up, just
definitely.
having
I,
that.
I would say from the production standpoint, having a folder, if you are using like downloaded like kind of one shots or samples or things like that, but having it sort of in like one place where you can find and reference it, helps helps a lot, and then I think another thing that I like about doing like the a la carte like beats is that if I know who the artist is, like that the beat is for, and I know like their general style, I can make sure that I'm leaving the appropriate amount of room in the song for them. Because I feel like that, that there are like those are like the best producers where it's like I'm giving the artist just enough for this particular moment. I'm not, trying to like overproduce the beat where people are more focused on what I'm doing.
Right,
But,
right.
I want my production to really set up and like highlight. I'm the one giving the assist, to them. And so
That's an
different,
interesting point, man. That's
yeah,
an interesting point because I do feel like when I listen to music, sometimes when I hear certain music, it's a yin and a yang. Like sometimes it's the beat that's the star. Like I don't really care what they say. Like this beat go hard, and I could do I could do with less of what they talking about. I just really think that this beat is fire, right? And then
mhm,
like there's obviously music where you listen to, and it's like that the performer is telling the story or getting you more like into what they're saying, and it's more of an intimate feeling. You're listening to what they're saying, and the beat is more complimentary. And I think that that's just an interesting, kind of like the artist that's at the recording studio, kind of knowing when to
mhm,
help and kind of knowing when to shut the hell up and let them do them.
yeah, for sure, man, for sure. So like I don't know, like I love it. I'm blessed that like the production that I have done and is out there. I feel like I don't know, like it all fits.
Yeah,
Which I feel like there's two more that I sent that I
yeah,
produced and one that I just engineered. I
for
didn't do no
sure. We
production.
was gonna go into bipolar confidence. And you
Yes.
said you recorded, mixed, and mastered this song. You want to give us a little
Yeah.
bit of
So this from the studio, like here in this room, and I got like a booth that I set up and turned out song in the travel bag right now. But yeah, recorded it right here in this room, mixed and mastered it. Right here in this room is for a poet. Her name is Gully Thoughts. And it was just a lot of fun. Um, I was able to meet with her and have her from the beginning kind of think through what does she want her EP to sound like, how many tracks does she want the EP. Although I didn't do any production on it, was able to point her to some of the simplest like beat stars. And she loved it. She was able to find exactly what she was looking for. And everything like it fit perfectly. She was able to release the songs and actually make a profit off of it because she went through it through the proper channels. But it was just a great project to be a part of from start to finish. And she's an amazing poet. For people who maybe listening are in the Houston area who do go to poetry events. If you haven't seen her yet, you probably be seen her. So
Yeah, man, I'm excited to check it out. Let's tune in.
mhm.
Wake the fuck up! Wake the fuck up this morning!
Man, my inner critic woke me up talking about So you think you somebody now, huh? Duh. I've been that bitch. But then it's like a flick of the switch, and the light that brought that confidence goes into the ditch, and the darkness of my fear swallows me, and now I'm stuck in the pits of my demons and intestines. My grandma said keep faith even in tests and in trials, but I can't even digest my own talent that these people keep telling me about. This self-doubt, these insecurities are clogging up my arteries. Can somebody throw me a Tums so I can move with confidence and finally feel like I'm the shit, and then it's like a flick of the switch. I know that there is magic in my DNA, and God is like, look at the flick of the wrist, and made me with a magical touch. So why do I keep saying, but I'm not good enough? Now God has to knock me upside my head, and he actually does break a leg and kicks that fearful crutch from up under me and puts me on my knees and knocks me off my high horse and then puts me on a higher throne. Because my home is no longer my home that I'm living in. I'm slithering in the hands of the potter that has molded me into an invisible creature. I have to admit, my light switch had a glitch, my light switch had a glitch, my light switch had a glitch. Something was wrong with its features. But God put an eviction notice on the doors of my fears. And I ain't forget to pay on the light bill to the home of my confidence, y'all. I'm even shoppingless. I don't have to hide behind the mask of these clothes because now I'm clothed with reassurance. I affirm myself, even in my mistakes and in my sloppiness. You can go to gullythoughts.com and you can shop till you drop and cop this drip, but you can't copy it. You'll try to, and you'll highlight my light and press copy paste, but the font might be different because I'm a little bit more bold. Go ahead and underline my soul because I stand out with no handouts, and I look out to the stands at my fans with their hands out, about to snap, about to clap, about to wrap their arms around me with their validation, but I have to validate me first. So I killed the inner critic and I put him in a hearse. So let's go back to that second verse. I don't just think I'm somebody. I know I am somebody. And as soon as I stepped to this mic, y'all knew too. Gully.
That was beautiful, bro.
No, man, yeah, it's a great project. It's available. I think now it's on both streaming platforms. But for sure, Apple Music. Yeah, Gully Thoughts. You can listen to the. I think it's like 4 or 5 songs that are on the EP. They're all like phenomenal, all phenomenal.
And that's also Gully Thoughts on YouTube, where it just got played from. If you out there, go ahead and go to Gully Thoughts on the YouTube and subscribe so she can get her subscriptions up, so she can be heard and put into that algorithm, that platform. Speaking of which, do the same if you out there for Mixsquadtv. If you are on the YouTube side, like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell so you can be notified. If you are on Instagram, like, comment, and then also go to YouTube so you can like, comment, and subscribe. But yeah, that was shows your versatility even within the like you went from that production of the last one, then you mix, you record, mix, and mastered this one, and it was a whole different vibe from as far as the beat, right, of the last one. So that just really shows your versatility in the game. You just being able to look at it as a project and not try to insert, hip hop or any other influence or any other genre into whatever that project is.
No, for sure. Like, for the whole, because it was nothing but poems over, I guess what people would be like considered like hip hop beats,
right?
And so just my mindset with mixing the project was I wanted to sound like the listener was at a poetry show. So I knew that it needed, in this case, I wanted the reverb to sound more like realistic.
Right.
So where, like rap, I really don't do a whole bunch of since I do room reverb, right. I do a lot more plate reverbs for like rap vocals. That's just my personal preference. There's not one wrong or right way to do, reverb and stuff. But for this one, I knew how I wanted it to sound like it's in a space. So I sort of have to kind of create the space to like to put her in.
Right.
So that was sort of like my guiding like light as I was doing this particular project. Versus if I'm doing it for if I'm doing engineering for a rapper, then I sort of know kind of based upon the track, based upon the sound, like what type of reverb, and also like how much reverb to give them, how much delay to give them, if any.
Right.
Uh, so
Which is
just
super important when you're talking about what you're talking about, which is the project itself. Each project needs its own taste. And when it comes to a space, right? So if you're doing something like, I just go out of the box, like if you're doing something that's more on a weekend type vibe, like you're gonna space it out crazy because the vibe is very spacey. You know what I'm
mhm.
saying? Compared to what you're saying here, where it's like this is realistic, this is poetry. I want her to sound like she's on stage reading her, her poem, like it's written word, at the whatever they, what I'm saying, go to get that type of vibe. You want it to feel like that on top of this beat, and it kind of felt that way, where the piano of the instrumental kind of felt like it was accompanying her, like it would be when she's doing it live, doing her spoken word. And so
Yeah,
that's, very, very important for engineers is to make realistic, not even realistic, I should say, make appropriate spaces for the project that you're working on.
yeah, for sure. Which I
Okay.
don't know. Like for my personal journey with that, it just sort of took time on like task, and then once I figured out how to set the reverb up correctly, then it was about, I guess, taking a step back and thinking about, all right, like why am I even adding reverb here? You
Right.
know, like what's the purpose? And if I can answer that question, I feel like I can make the proper adjustment. And that was probably, I don't know, like the thing that the biggest light switch to me was using, like, once I learned the technical skills, just getting better with like my ears and making decisions based upon like, well, why am I reaching for an EQ here? Does it need it? Am I doing it just because like this is what I did in the last mix?
Right.
You know, and yeah, so
And I think that there's a different, like how we all have like a different learning styles and stuff. I think we
mm,
all have a different type of engineering style because like I'm beyond creative to some degree. You know what I mean? Like you never have to tell me to try something new because I'm doing it every mix. Every mix is something I'm trying new. And so I have to, I say that because just identify how you learn, identify how you operate. If you are process driven and you're like, this is my flow, this is my process, and I do this on every mix, then you may need to do what he's saying, like, okay, well, why? So you can start answering those questions, so you can start making decisions based on the project and not because that's my process. For me, I had to kind of narrow it in a lot and just be like, hey, get more process driven real quick, like get an actual flow of how things should be set up, and then you can go experiment and explore because when you have different learning styles, I've learned that being the exploration person, like I don't never have to know why. I don't really have to know why. I just know I want to try it just to see. And then
mhm.
and then sometimes it sticks, sometimes it's a horrible idea, but like that's probably why I have like so many different like techniques in the bag because like yeah, I tried that, you know.
No,
Yeah.
yeah. Which probably like my best like I don't know, like I think it was at a mixing event that I went to, and
Mhm.
I might have been the Little Uzi's engineer. I forgot what his name is, Ben Thomas or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
But like one thing that because I was always, I guess, at times like afraid to try stuff because I didn't want to like have to keep on hitting, Command Z, or do something and commit something and then like I can't go back to the original. And then it's sort of like this I mean, kind of simple, but like it can save you, you know, like your butt when you're mixing is just duplicate the playlist.
Right.
And then I can like go in and like, go crazy with it. If I don't like it, I can just go back to the original playlist and duplicate it again. And yeah. So I don't know, from an editing perspective,
Yeah, no,
um,
that's a great tip.
I would say when I get a session now, especially if I, um, didn't record it, I'm for sure. Like that's probably the first thing. One of the first things I do is I'm setting up my session. Is
Yeah.
I'm going to duplicate the playlist.
Yeah, man. Great tips. We got to make sure that we get these nuggets out to y'all because we know this stuff. You know what I mean? We like me and Just 100 know it. We just trying to share it to y'all so y'all can better y'all skills. And if you want to better your skills even further, we would definitely suggest that you go to mixsquad.com and join the squad. There's a join the squad page where you have access to the membership. You have access to get on the official squad where we do have content all throughout the week, in addition to the library of videos and just being a community where you really can get either as an indie artist or as an engineer or just a music savant, just a place where you can grow and you have people behind you that actually want to see you succeed. And so we will be pushing you as well. So if you're out there, you're just not really sure where you belong, you're not really sure where to go, join the squad here at Mix Squad. Go to mixsquad.com and we'll be glad to help you go to the next level. That being said, let's get into the next one, man. I know that you sent a few more, and the very next one that I have, let me see which one I have here. It is Pray, and you mixed and mastered this.
So did the production, and then mix and master it. So this is I think the only 100 Villains track that I sent. 100 Villains is sort of this rap group, not sort of, it is the rap group that I'm a part of. I do the production. The homie Super Villain does. He's like the main featured artist.
Yeah.
So for this one, there is a guest appearance by the homie Get Paid Spade. So both of them don't live in Houston. The homie Villain stays in Vegas, and Spade is in like Colorado. And so
I remember a super villain, man, from another group that we had got in contact with. But I gotta send you something that he actually from hearing his stuff from you, he inspired a song that I made recently, just because of his rap style and how he like use his real just talking voice. You know what I mean? He inspired that. He actually inspired a song that I'm gonna send you after we get off the interview, and you let him know like it's the homie, but like you don't know Cash, but you inspired this song from Cash.
No, that's what's up, man. That's what's up. So I definitely don't know that. For mixing this one, I guess the challenge, I guess the biggest challenge this one was because they were recorded in two different spaces, two different microphones, two different vocal setups. Just trying to make it sound like it was done from like one studio.
Yes.
Was it? So there's not like a dramatic difference. And so did my best with it. I would say that I think Spade, he used a tube mic. I'm not exactly sure which one. But I would say it definitely, I don't know. I'm at the point now where I can hear the difference that like tube mics make. Not that you can't do a hit off of something that's not a tube mic, but I see what the sonic appeal is for why you having a tube mic is probably a good investment.
That's a good nugget. It's a good gem. We're gonna check this out and take a listen to it.
It's never gonna come a point in time where y'all niggas is able to stop this. It's a sad fact for you, nigga, but shit, it is what it is. bitch. Don't hate on me, bitch, pray for me. On the grind, I move faithfully. On my grind like it was raised to be. Number one shit, second to none. Slaying rapid shit, I do it for fun. One and only, don't compare me to none. Trials and tribulations, smoke recreation. I am in a state of meditation. Don't rush the move, I leave the world waiting. Feeling strikes when the time is right. Play the past, I'ma get a bite. They'll never know, like beef and night. Stealth moves, I be out of sight. But the block see that a nigga bright. The deaf can hear and know a nigga right. Loose lips and them people tight. For pillow talking out line and chalking. You don't let a bitch go until you coughin'. Such a shame, it's a dirty game. But they don't learn till they feel the pain. Overkill, now you looking brain. For some bullshit, you was fucking saying. Read dudes, who the fuck was playing. Told you niggas better get the praying. I don't know what's wrong with y'all niggas, man. Shit is kinda confusing to me. Weirdo, strange ass, bitch made ass niggas, man. I don't know why I gotta be all that with y'all all the time, man. See a nigga doing this thing, bro. You should be happy for a nigga. Like they say, y'all should be happy the fucking sun shine, nigga. Fuck y'all look like all traitor ass niggas.
If I pray on you, then God bless. Street cred, you in debt. Got an AR and an FN. Gun game, need a spell check. 2 pounds playing rock paper. Coke only got a little cut. My white bitch got a suntan. Cause my hustlers ain't prejudiced. If you a bitch nigga, you a tomboy. Don't act invincible. Got expelled from my high school. Cause I stand on principles. Finger state my address. I see ops and get carpal tunnel. When they say freeze, we don't take please. My young thugs is real gunners. When I aim, shoot cologne off you. Bitch nigga, that's real fun. If we pinpoint your coordinates, your battleship might get sunk. From a bunk bed to a king size. With a queen close, that's checkmate. We pop ops and celebrate. Nigga ref check my resume. Pussy ass nigga, I'm out now. Time to get back to it. We in $500,000 homes, nigga. Pulling up in foreign shit. And we stepping on any niggas that's in the way of this shit. We ain't playing. Get paid. Better act like y'all know. Yeah.
Yeah, man. What I could say is Supervillain definitely has a very distinct sound, bro. Like that, regardless of whatever it is, like whether it's because everybody with art and music is always subjective to like what your taste is. But like he has such a distinct style that would stand out like amongst the crowd. Like I would specifically know, even though like he's not a big time artist right now, because I've heard him before, I know, oh, that's like, you know what I mean? Immediately. Immediately. So that's one thing y'all got for sure that he got and play off of that. Use that. Just continue to have him just keep making stuff exactly how he sound, exactly how his, you know, and just make people listen. Like, because you know what I'm saying? He has a very unique, distinct sound to his voice, to where if I can spot it out like that, eventually everybody else who done heard it be like, oh, that's Supervillain.
No, for sure, man. I'll definitely pass that encouragement on. That means a lot.
I seen him was printing out shirts the other day. I was like, come on, man.
Yeah. No,
come
for
on,
sure.
man. Let's go.
Yeah, like that's like, I don't know, his business, but like his baby, you know, like I've seen him grow from like, I don't know, like just one machine. I don't know how many he has now, you know. Yeah, it's been amazing watching his business grow. For sure. And that beat was a lot of fun to make, man. Got the sample off of TrackLib. So I knew, you know, that we're about clearing it. And for that one, the hook, or I guess the part where they kind of like talking, they shit is like the chops that are in the verse, but I flipped it, so it's like backwards.
Right. And I heard that transition. Yeah.
It's just, I don't know, like it fit me. I don't know, you know, like what my headspace was when I made that beat that day. But I was like, man, let me just try to like reverse this sample and just see how it how it sounds. I was like, oh, like it actually is like, it's cool.
Yeah. Straight up. I was gonna ask, just giving us, because I had this similar challenge when you was talking about taking artists, put them in the same song. It was 3 of us, and we all from different places, all different setups. What techniques did you use to try to get them to sound like they were in the same space?
Yeah. So for sure, let's see. A couple things was, I think for both of them, I tried to make sure like that the saturation was given like the same like level of warmth.
Mm-hmm.
So even though like they, I don't know, they were on two different microphones, I felt like that like definitely helped out. Um, Definitely making sure that like I was keeping the levels like comparable as well.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like that kind of helped, balance as well. So I was making sure like they're like peaking around the same um like the same level. And then putting them in like the same reverb space. So they both send me their vocals dry. If it was wet, it would have been like
Harder.
way more challenging. But once again, if I'm using um, reverb to like kind of set the scene,
Mm-hmm.
I can give an effect that like these two people are,
In the same
at the
space.
same
It's
time, like, you
literally
would never know that they were, weren't in the same room or it wasn't
right.
recorded the same week, kind of none of that. Because that's, I mean, even if you're um, are recording the same, like an artist, and you're like re-recording the same song, like they need to come back and like redo something.
Right.
It can be a challenge to one for the same person recording a song in like 2 different days to like make it sound like this wasn't done in 2 different days.
No,
Um,
for real. Like I go through it. And I'm the engineer, the artist, it's my setup and everything. And like I would have to actually do like 2 or 3 takes listening to the one I'm replacing just to get the energy to be the same level because it's a different day. It's a different, you know what I'm saying? I done ate different stuff. I feel differently.
mhm.
Different stuff is on my mind. My vocal itself is a little bit. So it's like you do, and that's a big part of what what we share here at the Mix Squad is your preparation. Like just as a artist itself is like, we talked about it a little earlier today, but just be prepared, like warm up your vocals, get some weird noises out, like get yourself ready to go. Cause that could be a headache to an engineer who now has this sound where you're like on 10 and then you come back on 7 and like, how do I manufacture this energy? Like it's hard. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. And because this is a while ago, I mixed it, but I'm pretty sure that the main compressor that I used on both of their um, vocals was the distressor,
Mm,
um, which blessed to actually have like the analog version. Although I use plugins all the time, versions of it,
right.
um, but was able to sort of kind of, I don't know, I was using a similar vocal chain on both of them as well. I feel like that also kind of helped, set the scene
That's
because
true.
I guess I was thinking about like, I don't know, like old school back in the day kind of console setup, right? There's a good chance that like all the vocals are getting sent through similar EQ that's laid across the console.
Yeah.
So you necessarily wouldn't, like, I don't know, put an SSL EQ on one and then an API on, the next vocal. Like ideally you wanted to get sound like it got mixed on
The
like the
same
same,
console.
yeah, the same device, same
Right.
console. So um yeah, I mean I would say that that's one thing that I typically do unless like only time I would maybe change up the vocal chain is if I don't know one vocal might have needed some more like correction or something
Right.
like
Right.
that. But for the coloring plugins, I
I get it.
typically try to
Because
keep
that
that the
that makes it,
that the same.
it give the same color and the same frequency areas, which is giving it the same feel. Real quick, in case you on Instagram watching us live, Instagram is gonna shut us down in about a minute. Go over to YouTube, check out the rest of this interview. Because I'm not about to restream back on uh Instagram while we're in the middle of this. So just go ahead and go over to the YouTube page and check out the rest of this. We probably be here for another 15, 20 minutes. It's not going to be that long, but I know they only do an hour for Instagram. So go ahead to Mixsquadtv on YouTube. I actually had it's a question, but it's more so just kind of like pointing out what specifically that I actually extracted from you on the mixing side. And it would be your vocals, like how you not necessarily, I've tweaked my own stuff by now, you know what I mean? But the basics of how you align and your chain of how you process vocals is what I actually learned the most from you. Would you mind just kind of like breaking down in general, like what do you do first as you go down your chain?
Yeah, for sure. So really the first thing I do is typically some corrective EQing. I use the Pro Q3 most of the time, but I mean, kind of any EQ can work, which you can kind of get in. And the biggest thing is rolling off. I'm rolling off the low end for sure, and then I'm sort of listening for what I don't like in the vocal, and from there, is how I'm making my decisions of like, okay, what do I need to cut? So because in this case, like two different mics, I have to kind of go through and like, as far as what I took out of one is different from what I took out the other one. Uh, you know, based upon, I mean, obviously like their voice are completely different, and then what they recorded on is completely different as well. And so, what one needed, the other one, typically didn't. So, from the corrective EQing, I typically then go into some sort of like, compression. If I am using analog stuff, it's either going to be the distressors or have a Heritage Audio tube tube sussor, which is it's crazy that you would think that it's like a distressor clone, but it's a CL1B clone. So it's a tube compressor.
And I need that's the only thing that as far as plugins and stuff that I just like, man, I need is the 1B. That's the only thing that I've ever been like within the last 6 months that I'm like, man, I'm still thinking about getting that. Cause I'm done with buying plugins. Like I just don't buy like I can get it done with what I got.
For sure. Yeah, I feel like every engineer comes to a point where it's kind of like enough's enough,
Right.
I feel like there's always going to be some new shiny, toy. Like I'm not in a rush to upgrade my Pro Q3 to Pro Q4. Like I saw, like that just dropped because it's like this thing still work. I do what I needed to do. There's probably some engineers out there still using Pro Q2.
Yeah.
There really is need to upgrade unless you just
a lot of people still using the Saturn, the first Saturn.
Oh well, yeah. I mean, okay, yeah. I mean, because
Because
once
it's
again,
doing the same stuff, bro. There's just some
sure.
preset folders have changed, maybe a few small additives to the overall plugin, but for what we use it for, that hasn't changed.
No, for sure. And then, after like the compression and stuff like that, is once again going to be dependent upon what's called for, because depending upon if they're at a studio where they're using the compression to track, you can sort of hear or even kind of visually see, like how much were they compressing. Because if they went a little heavy on their end, I may not. Obviously, I don't need to go too heavy on my, end as well. So, yeah, and then from there into some sort of like de-esser for sure. And then typically I'm going some additive EQ if it needs it.
And you
because that's
strictly
something
use
that
analog or any EQ for the additive?
it sort of depends. And a lot of times I'm going like plug-in. Yeah, just because the only other like
Well, I mean, when I say analog, I mean analog emulated plugin, like
oh,
a
yeah, for
Sheps
sure,
or a
yeah. Oh, yeah, like
Pewee
an
or
analog emulator for sure. there's a couple that I kind of go between. I really like the SSL um, sound. So there's a lot of times I use that as EQ.
I gotta start using
And
that
then,
more, man. Like I just don't use it as often as it's suggested that I should. Because like a lot of people really like who I respect in engineering be like, yo, bro, I be using this SSL to boost. And I just be like, huh. Like it's just I just haven't. So I'm gonna try that next time I
yeah,
actually go into the studio. I'm gonna
yeah,
try to use that.
and there's so many like good versions of them too. You know, like you can do the waves if you want to do like the slate. You know, like their sounds. You know, like great as well. You know, people are still. I mean, I'm assuming people still do like UA plugins. But like if you want to
Mhm.
do the universal audio plugins, do that.
Right, right,
But
right.
it's for me. The reason I like it is that it's simple in that like you can kind of listen and say, okay, like I want this to be a little brighter, and so you can reach for like the frequency kind of knob and select like what we want it to hit at, and then it's just you're adding to taste.
Right.
Potentially you may need to cut a little bit to taste to make it fit better in the track. And so yeah, that's probably one of my go tos. And the other one is the um, I have to look it up to see like what's the exact name, but it's like it's really simple too. It's like like it's like a blue, like a light blue. Well, let me just log into my plugin account. I can look that up. But from there into some sort of like saturation, that can look different. And it could be something as simple as like fresh air. I love that's free. I think it's still
Yeah.
free, but
Yeah.
from that's a great saturator. Or I do have Saturn too, um, and so that's would be the other option. But a lot of that is once again to taste. One thing that and then once again it also depends upon like the artist. Like one
Right.
thing that as I listen to commercial music, stuff that's getting released, I'm paying attention to all right, like how crispy is this?
Hmm.
Are they really saturating the hell out this thing? Or is it is it noticeable or is it so but that's kind of just come over time. But it's definitely something that the saturation is to taste for sure.
Yeah, no,
Um,
for sure. Because you know me, man. I was the king of over crunchiness. So it's just but that's the importance of having people who have the ears in the business to be able to tell you that's oversaturated. Because to my palate at that time of being new to this, I liked how that sounded. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah,
Now
sure.
I've trained my ears to where if I hear that stuff that I used to submit, like I would be like, bro, what was I doing? But at that time, you couldn't tell me nothing, man. This shit sound
Uh,
good.
that's funny. That's
So you
funny.
do need people who are around who do this professionally, so they can let you know how to listen, like how to hear this stuff. You know what I mean? Because it's not just overnight. A standard consumer of music, you know what I mean, trying to come over to our side is a lot of stuff you just gonna miss because you're not listening for certain things. You're just listening. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
And that's cool because the general consumer we don't want to, reveal what's going on behind the scenes like that. But we just want you to be enjoying what you're listening to.
yeah, yeah. And so I definitely one thing that helped was just putting together a playlist of really current songs that I feel like are mixed well, and just kind of use that as a aid of like is this vocal sitting in the mix like it is in this other song? Is it for the type of song it is, like, does it need to be brighter? Does it need to be darker? Does it potentially need to be a little louder? I need to, maybe knock the ad libs down just a little bit. Just so, all these type of questions are being, I don't know, asked and like answered. But yeah, after the saturation, that's pretty much about it. I mean, everything is being. I guess the other thing that is adding another level of saturation is that I do have a summing mixer, so everything is being sent kind of through that. But I recently, this took me a while to even learn how to use like the gear. So when I first started off, I wasn't mixing through it, but now because I'm like, I know it is adding something, so I'll rather not be think I have it together, throw it into the sun mixer, and then I need to go back and make changes. I'd rather just from the get go
hear what
just go
that's
ahead
doing
and
already.
mix through it. Almost like the same suggestion I would give to, for people I love the God Particle, but whether it's
Mix
God
through it.
Particle or one of his competitors, like slapping that on as early as possible, just because it is doing something to the mix just by being on there.
Yeah.
And so if you can kind of hear what it's doing from the start, it makes it easier to
No, I
make.
fully suggest early as possible for that, and there's really easy ways that we can learn, that we can teach you on how to like set up. My master bus is really just a mixed volume knob. Like that's what I use it as, to feed into my mix bus. And so if your whole mix is going into this mixed volume fader, and you got the God particle or the L2 or ozone 11 or the maximizer, whatever, as your limiter at the end, I could use my mixed volume fader to actually like put the whole mix into that limiter at a certain peak level. You know what I mean? So you're not having to go and individually, like, you still gonna have to go individually tweak certain stems or whatever, but just to have some mixed bus processing on already, I set that up just as a way so I can feed the limiter whatever decibel level I want to feed it, so you don't have to run into the issue of, oh, it's getting too hot, or like it's limiting too hard. Well, I could kind of definitely adjust that and make that something where I just use a fader to make it either louder or quieter going into the limiter.
Yeah, because limiters are that's, we could probably have a whole nother conversation about that. Limiters are killing mixes right now, particularly in rap.
Yeah.
It's either
So,
stuff that either it's either like the two extremes right now. Like it's rare that I hear just like that was a decent mix. A lot of it's either like this was really great, or like, that was like slamming the hell out that limiter. And
yeah.
like it's taking all the life and like bounce out of this song.
Yeah. I really try not. So I mean, we gonna have to definitely have another conversation, have you back on to have because like there is a lot of things you can do to try to squeeze as much room dynamically out of your mix as possible without ruining it. Whether
Yeah.
it's using a form of soft clipping just to tame your peaks, whether it's using a two limiting process where you're just catching rogue peaks, where like my final process, I'm probably only getting up to 2 dBs of actual limiting that's happening on my entire mix. But like,
Sure.
you know what I mean? But like you say, you getting 6, 7, 8 dBs out of mixes right now. And that's just like, yo, why?
Man. People trying to deliver like love to like -5 and -6, just like, yo, man, these are loud, mixes.
Yeah, man. So actually we had 2 things to do. We got one more video from you to watch, and also I wanted you to, like, from my understanding, if I was an engineer that wanted to get a little bit more mixes in, or if I'm, someone who's trying to market my music, there's a tool that you have that could be effective for, for the individuals who want to invest in something that could actually help them make some more money with their craft.
For sure.
Yeah, so I'm gonna play this first give us the introduction on bars on I-95 freestyle, and then after the video, we'll go into the tool that you have.
Yeah. So this one is associate of the guy DJ for Geechee Gotti, one of his good friends, Ella the Mayor. Both of them were on this podcast, Bars on I-95, where they have a lot of really great rappers come in and just, freestyle. For this particular one, he needed a beat. I sort of knew what he was looking for and knew that, like, hey, I had this one available that I feel like would kind of fit what you're asking, and it worked. So eventually I need to probably get him in and like do a studio version, because right now the only version of the song is from the podcast episode.
Got you. For sure, let's take a listen and watch.
Yo, y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy AB. We are back. 2 for 1 special, man. I told y'all it's a special episode today, man. Listen, we're going to get right into it, man. Yo, Geechee, who you brought in the building, man?
Hey, man, I got my guy, man. Ella the Mayor. You know what I'm saying? Straight out of Compton, same hood, man. Hey, we family. Grew up since kids. This dude been spitting bars since as long as I know you. You know what I mean?
Like, how you feeling, man?
I feel good, man.
Yeah.
I was born to do this.
Yo, let's not waste no time, man. Yo, DJ U1, let's get right into the beat. Bars on 95, Connecticut's #1 rap hip-hop platform, skills over power.
Yeah, man. Ella the Mayor in the building.
I
know what it is, man. Shout out my nigga DJ Just 100, man. For the record, man.
Beat is tough.
Yeah. I said, they say the streets is a bitch. I'm from the belly up. When I was locked in that cell, niggas didn't mail me nothing. When it was go time, I slid with my own 9. Geechee kept it real, that's why I always had phone time. Keep your foot on their neck, cuz it's showtime. I'm blocking all defenders, my nigga. I'm your old line. Can't disrespect our gangsters, we push the cold line. Any nigga play our way, they getting clothesline. Body slam, make them a has-been, like Kwame Brown. If I push my weight around, that's a lot of pounds. Compton ho, known for heavy metal like rock and roll, pots and stoves. If a nigga snitch, then he gotta go. If you a hater, see you later. Nigga, adios. Niggas that can fly till they die in designer clothes. Running up the block with a Glock and a snotty nose. 38 was special, so it always had a snotty nose. Smoking on EFG, that's good ganja, bro. I just wanna fuck the world with no condom, no. My mama know this shit easy to talk different. Yeah, fuck your bitch so good she walk different. Y'all listen. I see more bodies than morticians. Seen people take from the poor, all Christian, certified. Hell yeah, nigga, you know I get it in. Niggas don't go to the pen because they send a friend dividends. That's what I'm chasing. I'm talking cash flow. Niggas smoking all of this crystal like where the crack go. I was 13, young, wild, and reckless. All I wanted was a rag and a necklace. AKs, M1s, and them ARs. I ride around with a stick like I was Ray Charles. I Nicolas Cage and take his face off. Yeah, I do a nigga foul when I play ball. Hey, y'all, they say the drum got a chop on it. And I ain't satisfied until they got an op on it. Stop front. They ain't with the war like the Taliban. 5 deep in the family van while the homies hair bad. Nigga, it's about to be a homicide. Mama's cry, feeling traumatized. Where I'm from, we gotta ride. We got the 6 plus we got the 5. I'm crossing T's and I'm dotting I's. Murder game. When I pull out that bopper, it ain't Burger King. Smoking on EFG when I'm swerving lanes. Raised in the ghetto, my nigga, that's my habitat. And we can go clip for clip and have a ladder match. Matter of fact, nigga, that chop got a beam on it. And I ain't satisfied until your whole team on it. We want it. Nigga, I don't even play though. Pesos, mess with the team, I let the K blow. Come on, man, in the building, man. Yeah, take up, man.
Hey, yo, man, listen, his name is Ella the Mayor,
man. Y'all know what
Compton is officially in the building. So that's the people you travel with. That's what y'all say you come in. That's how you feeling. Hey, yo, man, listen, man, Geechee did that. I didn't even do that.
Yo, is there more to that?
Nah, that's it. Yeah.
Okay, cool. No. Oh yeah, he was bringing them bars, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah. LI, man.
I love the
Like,
passion. I love the passion
yeah,
because that's how like don't nobody know it because they don't see it because I don't record myself recording. But that's every song that you've ever heard me do. I am like giving Mike every bit of energy I got, and I definitely got that from him. Like he really meant what he was talking about, bro. Yeah. But see, I like that type of art. Like I like it when it means something to you. You know what I'm saying? When it means something to you, you got me. You know what I mean? Like if you just doing it, just whatever, bro. I'm talented. I just flow, whatever. It's like you don't capture me that way because I've been through some shit. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been through it. So I need that raw emotion to really capture me because like I know what it means to get on this mic and actually say what I feel because it's a release, bro. It's a release. So no, man, that was dope. A manipulator back.
He was spitting them cemeteries, man. On them tombstones. That beat was knocking too, bro.
Hey,
I appreciate that.
They made sure that they mentioned that right before he went gone. He's like, hey, this be hard too, though. Look. Hey, you got the shout out, you feel me?
Man. Yeah, no, man. That was a I don't know, proud moment, man, when that freestyle dropped. For sure.
Definitely got to get him in there and make an official record of that joint, bro.
Yeah.
No, for real. Man, let us know about this tool, brother, man. Like I'm very interested into just seeing it on the screen and kind of just getting an overview of what you have out there for people to use and potentially get them more business.
Yeah, for sure. Let me go ahead and share the screen right now.
Yep.
So this is the tool. It's called Velocity. Homie Josh Miles was the one who kind of created it. But it can do a lot, and it actually replaces what a lot of entrepreneurs are having to do with like several subscriptions. It's sort of like consolidating into this like one platform. So let me kind of show what I'm using it for. So one thing I have is this free strategy guide that I created for independent artists. And so, they just go to djjust100.com, right? They can actually come in, fill out this information, and they get this strategy guide sent to them. One thing that is kind of cool about the tool is that it has a lot of automation with it. And so, like, pretty much once they hit download, right, that there's email messages that they're getting where for several days straight I'm breaking down kind of each point in the strategy guide with like a different story, and because I have their contact information, both email and telephone, I can send them text messages, kind of updates of some mixing specials that I have, right? Sort of like the sky's the limit. And so with the tool, it has the automation with it. Another thing I like about it is kind of the payments and like kind of contracts that you can do with the tool as well, which is nice. Just because like these are things that like I don't know, I had to slowly learn that hey, if I'm trying to be like a profitable business, then like I gotta have like the business side, back end stuff, all needs to be just as on point as my mixing and mastering skills. I use it for DJing stuff as well. So if somebody wants to book me for a DJ, and I built built both of these sites was through this tool. So it's connected with my domain, and I can kind of make unlimited funnels or pages, landing pages as I need. So this one is for because I DJ as well, so someone can always put their contact information again, and then they're let me know okay what type of event do they need me for, and then they're
would you
scheduling.
suggest this tool would be for anyone who's just trying to maximize themselves in business or for a particular genre?
I would say really like one thing that I've learned is that, like, to some extent, like, at the end of the day, like, business is business.
Mm-hmm.
So these are things that every small business needs. Like, if you can't, um, like, you need to be able to know, okay, who's my customer base,
Yep.
and, like, how can I, like, contact them in the most, like, efficient and effective way, which
Right. So
is
this is for all anybody who's
yeah.
out there who has a business, of any kind. This tool could be useful for you. And where could we find this tool, like to actually go and get the subscription for it?
Yeah, so it should be under the velocity suite.com. Or you can also let me see. Um, stop presenting. Um, yeah, that for sure is thevelocitysuite.com. And then I'm trying to see if my buddy Josh Miles has um, just a website to go through. Looks like you can follow him on Instagram at the real Josh Miles. But yeah, it's just the velocitysuite.com is
Right.
how
And
you
if you
can.
are watching, you see that on the bottom scrolling across the screen, the velocitysuite.com. If you are in need of automating your business to be able to, like he mentioned, you would be able to set up funnels in which once you get their contact information, you'll be able to, constantly send them campaigns to where you're not manually going in and sending out messages, but it'll constantly keep, sending to your potential clients, those of you who you've gathered their information. And I know from personal, just having like me being in databases, right, that eventually, if it's something that I'm really wanting and they keep reminding me about it, eventually I'm gonna get it. Because I've been funneled. I've been, to where there's emails coming in every 3 days or every like twice a week. And I'm like, don't look at it or may not pay attention to it. But then that one day, I just so happened to click on it again, saw the product, and then here I am back inside of their store or whatever it is. So these things are highly important because targeting and retargeting your market and how our minds are today, right? Well, we got like a 2-second, thought process. Like if it's the information is in and out right away. You need automated things to help remind you that you want something, because there's many things all day today that I have forgot about until someone's like, hey, a perfect example is the song we have together with me and DJ Just 100. I completely forgot that song existed because there's so many things that just have been going on since the last time I worked on that song. And so that was a real life automation reminder, like, hey, bro, we got a whole song. Like, oh yeah. So we have to be under the understanding that when you're in business, it's okay to what we call harass folks, as far as, because that's what it seems like you're doing. That's why a lot of people out here don't do it. Because, man, I don't want to keep sending them emails. If they don't want it, they don't want it. If they're not going to get it, they're not going to get it. And that is not the mind state that we should have if we're selling products or we have a business. So the
No, for sure.
velocitysuite.com, definitely go check it out. And
For sure. I mean, and it has so many uses as well. I mean, for those people who are just like listening, or maybe they say, I'm just an artist, right? How does this help me? It's like, well, you need to know, who your fans are, So
right.
for this tool like this, right, to like, um, and this is sort of like basic marketing principles. A lot of times, if you're trying to gain contacts, you sort of have to give something away for free,
Something.
right? So you could have just a free download from like your most recent single, right? That
Mhm.
if this is what it takes to get people's names, emails, and telephone numbers, it's gonna be worth it. Because then you can send them, because it can attach to, for instance, like your Shopify store. So
Right.
then I can send a text message to people saying like, hey, new merch is dropped, and it's keeping all like the database of like who was bought, how many what and what size and all that, so like the more data that you have on your customer base, the better you can sell to them.
Yes.
And so yeah, it's just whether you're an engineer, whether you're a producer, whether you're artist or DJ, whatever. There's just kind of common things that all businesses need to have to be successful. And so this tool can help, and I love what you said about you got to just keep on, marketing people. My friend who made the tool, Josh, I don't know if he came up with this little like line or whatever, but I love it. Is whoever we're engaging with, we're either telling them to like buy or like buy. Either buy or like buy. But
Buy
until you
or
say
buy.
buy, I'm going to continue to tell you that, hey, bro, buy.
Right. Until you actually say buy. Like,
yeah. And so especially if someone has signed up for something,
Right.
So I'm going to continue to, I don't know, some people may say spare or whatever, but I'm going to
But
continue
it works. It works in the sales market. I've done sales most of my life, like hardcore boiler room, business to business selling. Like it is literally like that, like buy or buy, right? And then the more I consistently tell you to buy something, I'm talking about down to selling cruises. They'll just call in to find out, is there a cruise selling in, the Bahamas in a certain time? And before I even mention what cruises, it was written on the script. Asked them would they like to book it. I haven't told them about anything. Would you like to book that? And half the time you will get a well, maybe, but I just kind of want to see, like you'll get the general response most of us to get.
Yeah.
But the other half of the time, I got yes. So, like, you would think it's premature. I'm not going to ask you to buy it, like, because you don't know what level of research that this person has done. You don't know what they may just be calling in as a formality. You know what I mean? They may have already fully know exactly what they want. And all you had to do was say, you want to buy it? So let's keep that in mind as we push our products. That's why we're going to consistently tell you to go like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, go to the Mixsquad.com, get mixing consultations, get mixes, get lyric videos. You know what I mean? Join the squad. So there's, on the Mixsquad.com, we are a one-stop shop for what we call a music savant. Anybody who's in this for the love of it, who just wants to be an indie artist, who does want to elevate themselves, or an engineer who wants to improve their skills, go to the Mixsquad.com and we have something there for you. Just 100, bro. It's been a minute, man. We got to definitely chop it up just to chop it up. You know what I'm saying? Offline so we can talk about some things I ain't going to air out on the airwaves.
Nah, man, but thanks for having me. I love what y'all doing here. I'm definitely going to support any and every way that I can, man, because you're helping people. And I personally love helping people, and I love supporting people who love helping people. So,
man, we kindred spirits in that regard.
Great thing here. Great thing here.
What's up, audio manipulator? I keep accidentally start to say that boy name wrong. What's up, man?
It ain't wrong. It ain't wrong.
Okay.
Yeah,
what you
man.
got?
For people that want to jump in the DJ game, what is a good DJ equipment to start with? You can't just jump on a hog and get on.
Yeah. So what's nice is that there's entry level, even kind of DJ equipment. There's even two things you're gonna need is you're gonna need some type of controller and then some sort of a program. So there is Serato is sort of like the main program that people use. So I would almost call it like the Pro Tools of like the DJing community. But they have a free version of Serato called Serato DJ Lite that one can get started with, and then all you need is some type of controller that connects with that. Personally, although they don't pay me a single dime, but I really like Pioneers as far as DJ equipment. And they have I think their new entry level one is called the Rev 1. the DJ Rep one. Which last time I checked, once the price went up, it should be like around the 200, maybe 250 mark, which is like good for entry level,
right? Yeah.
You know, equipment. And so with that and with Serato DJ Lite, you get to go. Anything else you need is just the music. And there's tons of DJ pools that people can choose from to get their music.
New tables or old tables?
As far as turntables go, as soon as I get an opportunity to buy some techniques, particularly either the Mark IIs or Mark IIIs, I'm getting that. Right now I have some Pioneer PLX 1000s, which are great, but it's just something about particularly like backspinning on a technique where it's just it feels amazing.
That's what's up.
That's dope, man. That's one thing I know. Q is interested in like the live engineering, and I don't know about DJ perhaps, but like live engineering and stuff. I'm good, man. Like I'm good where I'm at, bro. Like
Like the DJ stuff, that's the most I could probably do live. Because for me, like you gotta just make quick decisions. Like I like the ability of mixing from the comfort of a studio and being able to like
make mistakes and then start over.
Yes, exactly. Whereas live audio, you sort of need to know, hey, this is what the issue is. Let me fix it, and how can I do it as quick as possible? So it's too much pressure for me, man.
Yeah, man. I'll be sweating the whole night, dog. Like even the bits I've seen you do live, I'll be like, man, kudos to Just 100 because like he been doing this for like 6 hours straight, Jack. Like
which I mean, I would say, man, like for the people, but DJs who want to start taking it serious, the best advice I would give is like get your music in order. As my music is categorized how I need it to. Whatever event or function I'm at, I can properly get through it for up to 6 hours. You ended up like how much music you have, right? But hey, for this type of event, I know what to play. I know not what to play.
But that is key, just like that preparation part, right? Like knowing, okay, this is the time I'm gonna be on stage or running it. This is the category, so I can already have that. Like that's that preparation work is probably half the job itself at that point. There's always technical stuff and all of that, but just taking that proper time and then probably being somewhat of like really knowledgeable about what's trendy and what's popping right now.
Or somebody requests a song, where it's at.
Yeah, I mean, what helps, obviously, most people are getting their music from either Spotify or Apple Music, both of which they have sort of like their playlist that they have, so that baby crying in the background, man, just became dad.
I was gonna say that. Yeah, man. Congrats, man.
Congrats, man. That sounds like a new one.
I told him I told him the truth the other day. I said congrats and condolences. I got 5 slang your granddaddy, so audio manipulator. So we know what you're about to go through, brother. And so if you got to cut out of here to take care of the newborn, man.
She has it, man.
You see how fast it stopped.
I have a partner, man, that can
that's what's up.
But having the library set up and together so that I can spend time like reading the audience, so I know what's trendy because especially one thing I love about Spotify too, they even show the streams, which is helpful as a DJ,
right?
Because I can tell are people actually listening to this.
Right.
If let's say for instance this song came out by this artist, and let me just take it back. All this stems from, I guess, as I'm DJing, right? My thing is this the best song I'm playing at this moment, you know, is this the best song I could be playing from this artist? Right? If I know this artist is popping, is this even the best, you know? And so I could go on Spotify and like look at when songs are released and the current amount of like streams to determine is this popping or is it not? You know, and then it's about, okay, well, what's the vibe for it? So if I know, hey, you know, if I'm DJing a club, I need club type songs, and I can then say, okay, all of this song, you know, is like it's popping, you know, maybe, you know, although it's a popping, like let's say for instance, raw wave song, right?
Yeah.
It may not be like the best time to play this popular raw wave song in the club because like it's sort of a downer, you know. It's still a phenomenal song, right? You know, like I may love the song, people may love the song, but it's like
not right now.
It's
not right now
not
because that's most of my music. Most of my music, you playing when it's time to leave, bro. Like it's when we try to get people out of here, you gotta play cash and stuff because most of my stuff do make you think and it's more in a minor key. It's not like uplifting, like it's I know what type of music I make, you know what I'm saying? So like you gotta kind of know exactly what you got, like you saying, in your arsenal.
Yeah, and so I mean, like, there's, you know, it even can be like a popular like Drake song, but it's just like, yo, this is like the tempo just too slow, right? This
Don't be
isn't
cussing like that in here.
Say it again.
Don't cuss like that in here.
I think he's just playing with you, bro.
Drake.
Just throwing it out there. I sort of got what he meant when he said that, right? But
because I ain't hear no curse word. I'm like, bro, what you talking about?
any popular artist, because like they have songs on their album that clearly this song was not made for the club, and and obviously like you don't want a whole album full of like just one vibe, right? That you want to give artists a chance to express themselves as they see fit, but it's like they're typically, especially if they're like a artist signed to a label, they're going to make them have a song that is supposed to be for the club. You know, so it's just making sure that I have you know, that information. So yeah, man, if one understands once again the type of event, I can look to see, okay, what's the crowd vibing to, you know, I can make sure that the next song I'm playing is like the next best thing almost. And so it makes my job easy, and it makes me look like I'm a phenomenal DJ if I'm just hitting you across the face with like hit after hit after hit after hit that fits the moment.
Right. No,
because I feel like we've all been to a club or a party where it's like DJs playing like some fire shit, and all of a sudden it's like,
womp, 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 womp.
No, I hate when the DJ be playing some good stuff, and then they do that cut in, and you be like, man, why did you do that? Oh no!
Yeah, but no, what he said is that like you gotta see the vibe too, man. Where it's like there's no one like right answer. Like there could be a song where like I may let it play longer than another song if I see people are actually vibing to it. I may not need to say I'm only playing the one verse, one chorus of each song. Some DJs are rigid like that. Others is like, yo, this is hot, and like maybe the best verse may not be to like the second or third one that has a feature on it.
Do you accept music from indie artists? Like when you DJing, like people have requests and stuff?
Yeah. I mean, if they can send it to me, if I'm DJing, they can like airdrop it to me, and like if I can like, it's always better if I get it before the set starts, so I know.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you if if you do, how could they potentially like DM you or what? Like how would they try to get in?
They can just email it to me, man. My email is info@djjust100.com. So just email me songs, and yeah, man, like I run a lot of stuff, man. I mean, since I'm from Detroit, like there's Detroit music that I know maybe people in Houston wouldn't necessarily be up on unless they're into like Detroit music. Like the scene, like they may know like the bigger artists, but they may not know like not even say local, but like maybe the regional, people. And so, but I'm still gonna like play the Detroit music because like I personally like it, and it fits a lot of times in clubs because of the tempo,
the knock, the way it knock, yeah.
you know. And so it's like if a song like it goes in the club, I don't mind running it because I personally don't like playing songs twice. So if I can, you know, get a song that like fits the vibe and like is nice, I'm definitely gonna run it.
Right. And I would just say for those independent artists, like, you know, like he say he take music and stuff, make sure it's, you know, because he gonna comb through it. If it ain't hitting, he ain't playing it. That's just bottom line. Like if it ain't hitting, he's just gonna be like, hey man, I couldn't play this. That's my reputation, because you gotta understand that is also him. He's putting his reputation on the line for the sake of your music. If your music ain't hitting or for the right vibe or in this right setting, then that's going to ruin his reputation. So be sure that we are on point when if we sending him some music to his email, make sure it's going to be something that he can be like, okay, I can run this. Because if it ain't, don't be mad when it don't never get played. Just being honest, because we got to be honest with ourselves as artists, because everybody feel like, you know, like we all feel some kind of way about our art and in our music, but we do need to learn to be realistic and to know, you know, what setting our stuff is for, when our stuff is needed, or, you know, when it should be heard. And just be realistic. Don't be sitting here sending him stuff and then like, man, you ain't never played my stuff. Like, bro, like it ain't good.
Yeah,
So like,
yeah, I think a lot of though comes from like as an artist, like knowing like who's your music for.
Yeah,
you know, and because one can be, there are successful rappers whose music never touches the club.
True,
and that's you know, like there's some of my favorite rappers. I probably would
you ain't
never
gonna never hear him in the club. Yeah,
you know, but it's just like that's fine and okay. I'm still gonna like support the hell out of him. You know,
right? I'm still listen to him, just not at the club.
Yeah, you know, so it's all about
on
like
the way home from the club,
going to the club and leaving the club.
You know what I'm saying?
You know, and so it's just like, as an artist, like it's having that self-awareness of like, okay, who is this for, so I can better market it to, you know, make sure that my ideal fan base is hearing my music. But a lot of times artists wouldn't be able to tell you like who's your fan demographic.
And that's why mixing and mastering matters, which is, you know, obviously shameless plug, Mixsquad.com, because you could have a good song that could be played at the club, but your mix is trash and it's still not going to get played. He going to be like, man, you know, this song, he might give you feedback. He might tell you this song got potential, but it needs to be mixed. You know what I'm saying? Because when you don't have the trained ear, you really do be thinking your stuff be sounding different than what it actually sound like. And I'm just giving the real from the other side, because I was on that other side as someone who really didn't have a good mixing skills yet. You trick yourself into thinking it sound like it don't. So it's good to have all of your stuff together is what I'm saying. You can have a good song that's not mixed well. It's not going to get played. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure that you got the right song for the club and a good mix on that, so it can be translate well to the speakers that's about to be played at the club. You know what I mean? Because, you know, we got to understand there's some big old speakers at the club. If your stuff ain't hitting right, like it's going to be obviously noticeable compared to every other song that's been banging all night, and then your stuff
and your song blow the speakers out. Ain't that about a song? Some club speakers you blew out, boy.
Now he's sending an email to you about some type of reimbursement for the equipment. All that.
Eardrums busted.
Yeah, man. Either that or, you know, the low end just may not be knocking like other songs.
Right.
There's like
commercial mixes.
There's a noticeable like kind of dip in feel.
In the low end, yeah. For sure, man. So yeah, this won't be the last time, man, we get together and do some stuff, bro. I'm just glad to be able to connect with you again. It's been a little minute. I know we both been busy. You got the baby. Congrats. That's you had a boy, right? What's his name?
Yeah, Jason Jr., man.
Got
Jason
a junior in here. He gonna be on them turntables by 18 months. Prodigy.
Yeah, my little audio assistant, you know.
Right. Straight up, man.
Rap tables and stuff real early, you know.
For real. And so stick around, bro, just for a hot second. We're gonna go ahead and officially end the stream, but we're gonna chop it up on the back end just like a little bit.
For sure.
All right, y'all. Mix Squad.
Did it again, Alex. Give me more. Okay, cash at hand. That's the motto, that's the plan. Got a whole lot of loot. Check my status, that's the brand. Boy, stop playing. Money so long, broke them rubber bands in the jam. I'll be damned if I fuck with Uncle Sam. I be spazzing on the beat. I go thermal on them niggas. I'm absorbing all the heat. Oh, salty ass niggas be thinking that it's sweet. Oh, dusty ass niggas in the presence of the league. Salute. Yeah, we looking for recruits. Join the squad, get you open, corner 3, 2, 1, shoot. Don't be scared, come prepared, and we keep you in the loop. Get you squared and prepared, and we step you